Recorded Books presents Tremendous, The Life of a Comedy Savage by Joey Coco Diaz, with Erica Florentine. Narrated by Joey Coco Diaz.
Hey! What's happened, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey here. Listen, thank you for buying the book. Thank you for downloading it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. You guys know I've been working on this for fucking ever, and we finally put the pieces together. Thank God I met Erica, and we got this book going, and here you are. In fact, here we are. So I want to thank you. What you're about to listen to is my life story. It comes in 3 parts. Part 1, growing up the way I did, which was a great childhood, and then everything changed when my mother died. Part 2 is what I went through, coming to reality that I was alone in this world. And that's always a big discovery to find out, and it dawns on you heavy. And then part 3 is how I turned my life around, getting off the blow, and it was one step at a time, because little commitments become big commitments. What I want you to get from this book is inspiration, and I want to let you know that even though you might have stumbled somewhere, who gives a fuck? You got to keep pushing every goddamn day. And that's how I got to where I am today. So thank you for all the support over the years. So here we are, after fucking 10 years. Tremendous, the story of a comedy savage. I hope you enjoy it, cocksuckers. Love you. To my mom, I did it. Introduction. I grew up firsthand seeing what it meant to hustle. My mom never skipped a fucking beat. I tried to take a leaf out of her book, and I'll be real with you. My life became a fucking shit show for a while when my warped motivation for hustling led me down some dark paths. Like one time, on a coke bender, I got so paranoid I called the cops on myself. Multiple times. Oh, and I also kidnapped a guy, but we'll get to all that shit later. I didn't intend to fail on my mom's wishes for me, to be a decent American, or to fail on my hopes for myself, but along the way, I did. I failed fucking miserably. And when I eventually found my stride with comedy, things started to take a turn for the better. My past failures became less important, less defining of my character, and connecting with my audience was all that really mattered. I've been doing stand-up for years before I figured out the special sauce. One day I woke up and it just clicked. I started telling stories about the crazy shit I'd done in my life, not knowing how it would land. And I was shocked and grateful to find there were people out there who liked hearing them. I grew a fan base that quickly felt more like a family to me than anything else. I was their Uncle Joey. If you've listened to my podcast, or you've seen or heard me anywhere else, you know my life stories aren't always pretty. But that was my point in writing this book. I want to tell you as much as I can. The bad mixed in with the good and the funny, with some names and minor details changed to protect people's privacy. For anyone who might be going through some shit right now, my hope is that when you're done reading this, you'll know for sure that you can get past it. And that's your past. You can find happiness and success in your life. Trust me, I was lower than low. In fact, I was barely a functioning human at certain points. I was addicted to crime and cocaine. But guess what? I came out on the other side. Don't get me wrong, this book isn't going to be a sob story either. Parts are sad, but you need to hear that to understand me as a whole. We all have our crosses to bear, and some stories from the early parts of my life are mine. As I'm writing this introduction, I'm in my home in New Jersey with my beautiful wife, Terry, and hanging out with my daughter, Mercy. And at this point in my life, I love them more than anything. Later, we'll all have dinner together as a family. Then I'll smoke some dope and make some notes for tomorrow's Uncle Joey's Joint podcast. I'm living the dream I always wanted to live. My Uncle Lazaro told me a lot about my father, who died when I was 3. Uncle Lazaro said my dad and I were similar in lots of ways. We looked the same and we had the same mannerisms, but mostly we were both born to hustle. It seems I had 2 parents with that mentality. Sometimes I reflect on how I got to where I am today, and it's really that hustle, but with the right motivation. What you'll notice is that once I found my motivation for changing my life, comedy, I just kept showing up day after day, night after night. I showed the fuck up. I practiced my skill, and I stayed focused, even when other parts of my life were shitty. The hustle nearly killed me in the early parts of my life, but the hustle also saved me in the end. My advice to you is to do the same. Just keep showing up. Just keep hustling and doing it with the right intentions. Go ahead and take a page out of my book. Except for the robberies and the hard drugs, make shit happen. And for anyone who isn't going through tough times and picked up this book to have a little fun, let's fucking do it. I got a lot of fun shit to tell you. In fact, sitting down to write this book, I realized there's so much to say, so much I want to share with you guys, that I could write 20 of these books based on my life experiences alone. All I can tell you, it's been a hell of a ride. Enjoy, cocksuckers. Part 1. Childhood. Chapter 1. You want to see a dead body? In the winter of 1984, I was waking up most mornings on a rusty rocket ship in North Bergen, New Jersey. I was 21 years old, I was an orphan, and I was homeless. The rocket ship was a piece of playground equipment in a park I used to go to as a kid, and since the top was mostly covered, it gave me some kind of shelter during the freezing cold nights. I'd climb up to the second floor, my penthouse as I called it, and I'd squeeze my gorilla-sized body in there. No blanket or anything, just my winter coat and whatever other clothes I had on my back. I had nothing to my name and nowhere to go. I'd exhausted all my options. For the last couple years, I'd been causing problems and burning bridges, one by one, with the people closest to me. Drugs, robberies, guns being pulled, you name it. No one wanted me to stay with them, and I couldn't blame them. I wasn't a bad guy at all. I had just become a junkie and couldn't break out of a cycle. Those mornings, waking up inside the rocket ship, I'd replay how I'd let it get that far. How did I end up here? I guess it was a combination of circumstance and my upbringing. Don't get me wrong about my upbringing. I had a devoted mother. I'd just been exposed to a lot of shit kids should probably never see. My mom, Denora Valdez, who went by the alias Sophia Cecilio, immigrated to New York City from Cuba with me when I was 3 years old. My dad, Manolo, had died accidentally snorting heroin, and we couldn't get my sister out of Cuba with us, so it was just my mom and I. My mom had a bar in Union City, New Jersey called El Reloj, which means the clock in Spanish. Union City was the second biggest Cuban community in the United States after Miami, so we fit in nicely there. That was good since we spent most of our time at a bar when I was really young, even though we lived in New York City. At the same time, my mom was also running numbers, a type of gambling that was illegal at the time, out of a dry cleaning business in the Bronx. The woman would do anything to make a buck, especially when it came to gambling. She was an absolute degenerate gambler. And one badass motherfucker. My mom was about 5'2" with black hair, regularly pulled up into one of those beehive hairdos. She was one of those hard-ass Cuban women you hear about, but probably never witnessed in action. She took shit from nobody, and when I mean nobody, I mean nobody. The reason for the alias was when she was a young girl, she went to a dance with my aunt, Rosita, and at one point of the night, Rosita was missing, and when my mom went outside looking for her, she found her getting raped by some guy. She broke a bottle of rum, and she stabbed him to death. This woman was as tough, if not tougher, than most of the men around her. She always had their full respect, too. When she walked into a room, she was not only their equal in terms of money, she was equally as street smart, if not more. She was not scared of anything. My mother didn't believe in daycare, so when we first moved to the United States, she brought me to the bar with her every day and then back again at night. Every day started with the same. She'd have a couple drinks in the morning, then we'd head to the bar to get ready for its 11 a.m. opening. Once we got there, my mom would mark a quarter with red lipstick. I don't remember exactly why, but she'd play Tony Bennett's I Want to Be Around on the jukebox.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.